Hi everyone, I'm Malka Katzenstein. I'm a wellness coach, and tonight, you know what, I'm going to start all over again because now I just saw something come up on the screen and I don't know if it was recording. Hello, hi everybody, I'm Malka Katzenstein. I am a wellness coach, and I've been speaking, the last few lives that I did were related to dating and self-confidence, dating and self-esteem. I think it's a topic that gives people a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of room to have questions and not feel sure about yourself. And tonight's topic is dating and engagement anxiety. And I have to say that this was not a topic that I chose. It was a topic that people, followers wanted to hear about. And I thought, oh, great, because this is sort of what I've been talking about anyway. But because this was not a topic that I chose on my own, I'm not exactly sure what it was because it was given to me as dating and engagement anxiety. So I don't know if it's about, anxiety around dating or anxiety about like you're dating someone and you're getting serious in your relationship and you think you might be close to getting engaged and anxiety around that. Or if you are engaged, being engaged and anxiety being engaged. So all of those things are situations that could, bring on anxiety, and it's normal and it's understandable, and there are ways to understand it. And there are also ways to sort of through understanding what's happening to help ourselves feel a little bit better and more regulated. So I decided to kind of break it down into those three areas and then, sort of bring it together. So that way I cover all of it. And so let's start with dating. I sort of talked about it in the other lives that I did about, feeling, having self-esteem, having self-confidence, and how dating can really, put that through the ringer because you're vulnerable, and it's, a situation where you feel like people are judging you, and also you hear there's a lot of noise out there. And so it's completely understandable that dating and, the whole being in the whole situation. And if we want to talk about specifically, I don't want to call anybody out, but the shidduch system can be extremely anxiety provoking. So it's completely normal to have anxiety around it, especially if it's something new. If you haven't dated or you haven't dated in a long time and you're starting up again, that can bring up some anxiety. And, just knowing that, you're feeling like you're kind of presenting yourself, and you're being judged on yourself, and you're being vulnerable. And so it's completely normal to feel anxious from that. So let's start with that. First thing, so I just wanted to sort of like lay that out, and then let's talk about, I wanted to first talk about, why you could be feeling anxious and why somebody could feel anxious, and it makes a lot of sense. And those are some of the reasons. And, then we can talk about ways to alleviate or at least mitigate that anxiety. Another thing, people might have heard horror stories from other people, and you're afraid that those things are going to happen to you. Maybe you've had bad experiences in the past, and that brings up anxiety. All of those things make sense. All of those things are normal. And a good way to start to get a handle on your anxiety is to just acknowledge it. Like avoiding things is really never the way to get over anxiety, because it'll just make the anxiety stronger. The first thing to do is really to just admit, like, okay, well, I'm feeling anxious right now, and also give yourself some, and not try to not to judge that. So, understand that it makes sense that you would be that you would be anxious. And then here are some things that you can try, just trying to be relaxed. And I know that that's easier said than done. I know everybody says that, and, it's hard, but you have to sometimes make a conscious decision to relax and to try to do the things that are going to calm your mind and calm your body. And, calming your mind will help calm your body. Calming your body will help calm your mind. And the more you do it, it's another one of those things that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes for your mind and your body to sort of fall into do what you want them to do. So, that, like with everything, starts with just, good, healthy lifestyle habits, making sure that you eat, making sure that you get enough sleep so you don't want to be too tired, too hungry, and have that affect your mood. Exercise is always great. If you're having a date, maybe you want to just spend that time, an hour before just relaxing, listen to music if you want to calm down, or, like I said, in another live, like to get you pumped if you're, you want to get into a more, excited kind of mood, just whatever you're needing then. And also, it's not the same thing every time. Maybe you want to just have a good time with a friend, or, whatever it is. For each person, it's different. Take care of you. Get dressed in something that makes you feel good. You want to wear something that that's physically comfortable, and, well, as much as you can. I know people hate wearing heels, and I think if you hate wearing heels, you shouldn't wear heels, but there are a lot of things that are uncomfortable. So within whatever you can, wear something that feels good. I mean, wear things that fit you well, wear things that make you feel good. I think that we all have clothing that we know, like, these are outfits that we feel good in, that give us confidence. So do that, wear makeup if that makes you feel good. Wear jewelry and accessories, do that. You take care of you in the way that you want to present yourself, and have people make that impression of you. But it starts with feeling good about yourself. So even, the externals like clothing and accessories and things like that, it starts with what feels good on you. So, do what makes you feel good. Be open to the experience, look forward to just having a good time. You don't have to think any farther than that. You don't have to think about what's going to be next week and what's going to happen in a month from now. And is this going to be the person that you spend the rest of your life with? Don't let your mind take you too farther than you need to go. Just be in the moment and look forward to it, and say, like, okay, yes, I'm a little bit nervous, and it makes sense that I'm nervous. But I'm not going to let that be the most powerful feeling. I'm going to have a good time, and, hopefully you will. And, be open to learning about somebody else. Be open to, learning things about somebody that you didn't know, or even if you had like an idea of like your ideal person, and then, you meet somebody, or you get set up with somebody that you meet and they don't check all the boxes. I mean, there's certain things, values and things like that, and certain things that non-negotiables for some people. But I think sometimes when we think of like that, we're talking about a concept rather than a person. So, just be open to, who is this person? And, are you enjoying yourself with this person? Do you want to spend more time with this person? Do you want to get to know this person better? So those are things that you can, hopefully that will help just to, yes, be a little bit anxious, but not let that take over and control everything. Also, what are you worried about? Sometimes thinking about just thinking about what's making you nervous, and you can kind of speak to that and see what you can do to sort of, talk yourself through why that's not something that's such a big deal, or why that's not something you need to worry about, or what you can do to make that bother you less. Maybe you're hearing too much talk around you, so you can try to tune that out. A lot of people have opinions, and you can be, the one who decides which opinions you're going to listen to, or no opinions. And really, nobody should be, telling you what to do. It really should come from you. Also, you can use people that you trust to talk things over with. But it's you. And so if you're hearing too much noise, you can do what you can to tune that out. You can decide who you want to talk to. You can decide if you don't want to talk about something with somebody, who's giving you, going to make you more nervous about it. If you are worried about, I think I said this, but I think it's worth saying again, if you've had, other bad relationships or other bad experiences with people, or you've heard other people's disaster stories, that could be, that could be something that could scare you. So, you can remind yourself that that was then, or that was, your friend, or that was somebody else. It's not you. And here you are, here's a new opportunity, and, go with a positive mindset. Communication, that's really the most important thing, communicating with, if somebody's setting you up, communicating with those people, communicating with the person you're out on a date with. Just be open and honest, and, make sure that you say what you're thinking. I don't mean, I mean, make sure that you're not letting other people control the way you communicate, that it's you and you're expressing yourself. So then the next part of this is, engagement. And again, I wasn't sure if the engagement anxiety was related to when you're, getting serious in your relationship and, you're about to get engaged, or you're talking about getting engaged and having anxiety about that. So let's talk about that stage of this. So again, that is also perfectly normal. I mean, it is a big leap. It is a big commitment, and any big life change comes with anxiety. So again, owning that, acknowledging that, don't try to fight it. Don't try to judge it and say, yeah, well, obviously, I'm nervous and it makes sense. And, being a little bit nervous and feeling a little bit of anxiety is not a reason not to do something. So, just try to listen for all the other things that are going on around you. Listen to your gut. Like, with that anxiety, do you also feel a sense of peace? I mean, the person that you're thinking of getting engaged to, does that person make you feel calm and good, and make you feel good about yourself, and make you feel good about him or her? Do you, within that anxiety, are you feeling that sense of peace and happiness and feeling settled? Then that's, that's something to concentrate on. And that's also, a good way to sort of like gauge things. Do you trust that person? If you don't trust somebody, well, yes, that's going to make you anxious. And that's also a reason to either spend more time to talk about it. Also, here again, communication in all of these situations. I mean, always, probably in most relationships, communication is so important. If you're nervous, if you're not ready, if the other person is ready, or if you're ready and the other person, there's a discrepancy in, people's readiness to get engaged, you talk that through. And, hopefully if you're at that stage in your relationship, you can support each other, and you can be understanding of what the other person needs and how you can give that or communicate what you need, and the other person open to, to giving that to you and to talking about it. So just because you're nervous doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. And also, if you're feeling like an overwhelming sense of anxiety, well, then think about what is that telling you. And, also, if you're going to be talking to people, people that you trust and people that, care about you, if you need some support, yes, that's always helpful. Sometimes just talking to somebody gives you a sense of clarity, but, and some perspective, which is always helpful. But don't let other people tell you what to do. And, if you feel something in your gut that you can't really explain, you can explore that. There's no exact science to it, but it's a little bit of anxiety is completely normal, and it doesn't mean that that's not something you want to do, which then let's move into, engagement anxiety in the sense of you are engaged and you're feeling anxious, which again is totally normal. First of all, it's still, you're in that stage of taking that big leap to having that big life change that's going to cause anxiety. And, to a certain extent, of course, it shouldn't be overwhelming and overpowering, but a certain degree of anxiety is completely normal in that situation. And also, planning a wedding can be very stressful. There are a lot of decisions that have to be made, a lot of things that have to get done, and that can stress anybody out. So again, you want to make sure that you take care of yourself. You do what you need to do to make sure that you're well rested and well fed and calm. Do the things that you need to do to help yourself, your mind, and your body relax. Just take a day off if you need to, and take a break for, whatever it is that helps you get calm. Again, communication. You can talk to your fiance and talk about the things that are making you nervous. If there's something specific that's making you nervous, you should definitely bring it up. I mean, that's really, like I said, one of the most important things in a relationship is to be able to communicate and express yourself. And maybe this is, somebody, not maybe, hopefully this is a person who loves you and cares about you and wants to support you. So they'll want to know what you're thinking, and you can talk about ways that you can support each other emotionally, and that can be really helpful, and also just feel really good to know that there's someone who cares about you in that way that, you can speak to and you can speak your mind to. And just because you're feeling nervous, you're engaged and you're feeling nervous, it doesn't mean that you're not feeling good about your relationship. It doesn't mean that you are having second thoughts. It could, but it's not like an absolute. If you're feeling like really, really stressed and really, really nervous and not, and second guessing yourself, well, that's something to explore. And that's where, also talk to people who can help you, talk to people who care about you, who are supportive. And also that might be a reason to talk to a professional, and, for yourself, just to have someone help you get your thoughts together and recognize your feelings and understand what you're going through. And couples therapy, you don't have to wait until you're married and having problems to go to couples counseling. An engaged couple can go to therapy together, and it can be so so helpful. Couples therapy, couples coaching, there are people who do that for couples who are engaged and not married yet, and it's can be really, really helpful in communicating and connecting and helping set the road for a very healthy marriage. So those are the situations that, the way I understood this topic, that people wanted to hear about. And to summarize it, really in all of these situations, it's about either being vulnerable, the unknown, taking big life leaps, big life changes, and all of that makes sense to have some anxiety or to be nervous in those kind of situations. And it's not a bad thing, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Of course, if it is all consuming, if you're not able to go on a date because you're too nervous to, or you've had really bad experiences and it's just kind of ruined things for you, or if you can't make a decision about whether you want to get engaged or not, or you're engaged and all you can think about is, I don't know, I'm so nervous, all of those could be reasons that therapy, to go try therapy, or to talk to a professional coach, or, somebody who can help you with that, because that's when the anxiety is stronger than you are, and we don't want that. And within all of those stages, looking at yourself, acknowledging that, a little bit of anxiety is normal, and then what to do with it, and how can you take care of yourself, and what can you do for yourself to feel good about yourself, and who can support you. Those are, and communication, again, communication in all of those stages is important. And also being open. I know I said at the beginning, about being anxious about dating, like to just take one step at a time and be open to having a good time and getting to know somebody new. And also that applies in all those stages also. I know I didn't spell it out, but like being open to like, yeah, okay, you made a decision and you decided that you want to marry this person, but there's your whole life ahead of you to spend together to discover what that means. And so being open to new experiences, being open to learning more things that can, that's important. And also like maybe a way to reframe the nerves, instead of saying like, I don't know what's going on here. Like I've heard people say that if you change anxiety to excitement, in your body it feels the same way. And I don't know if this is, I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna share this because I think there's some something in it. It spoke to me, obviously, and I liked it, but I also think that it doesn't necessarily apply across the board, and it needs to be taken with a grain of salt and some caution. But really, in your body, anxiety and excitement feel the same. And anxiety in your body, it's your nervous system kicking into action to let your body know that there's danger. And that's not always the case. So that's why it's, when there is actually no danger and you still feel that anxiety, that's when it becomes a problem. But anxiety and excitement feel the same in your body because there's something going on and your nervous system's like on high alert. So listen to it. And if, everything kind of checks out and you think you're nervous because new situation, vulnerable situation, big life change, then get excited about that. And maybe that can help. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this is something that can be useful to people. And thank you for joining me. And have a good night.